I wished more people realized how relatively easy and simple it is to actually purchase a home. There definitely is a misconception to the general public out there that buying a house, especially since 2008, is the hardest thing literally imaginable to do. And I just don't really think that's the case. Yes, buying a home does require some upfront money that you need to save up for. And yes, there are specific financial and credit requirements that you have to meet in order to be eligible to purchase a home with most traditional mortgage loans. However, those requirements and the amount that you actually need to save is a lot less stringent than you have probably been led on to believe. Standardized down payments for most first-time home buyers ranges between 3 to 3.5% for most conventional and FHA loans. Depending on your qualifications, you may also be able to qualify for a USDA or VA loan, which require a 0% down payment requirement. So yes, to buy a house going the standard route, utilizing a standard loan, you need to have at least that amount of money saved up in order to have the down payment required to get into the actual home. But even if that is kind of hard for you to do right now, there are a plethora of down payment assistance programs and options out there that can cover your down payment, usually in the form of a secondary small lien or a potential grant. And yes, there are closing costs associated with buying a home, but in this market, especially where buying and selling is relatively slow, these cool little things called seller concessions are getting most all of the closing costs covered for most buyers out there on today's current market. So, unless homes start flying off the shelf and the market starts heating up, don't put a lot of attention and detail and thought and care into saving up for closing costs. Most of the time, your realtor can negotiate and get most, if not all, of those closing costs covered for you, again, in the form of seller concessions. Lastly, going back to the credit and financial requirements that I mentioned earlier, yes, there are some that you have to be aware of, but you don't have to have a perfect financial resume in order to qualify to buy a house. To be honest with you, you just simply need some steady and reliable income, as well as a decent to okay credit score in order to qualify for most loans. Yes, there are some nitty bitty tiny little details that are specific to different loan types that we have to look out for, but y'all didn't tune in for an hour-long video. This is all about the short game. So I say all of this to say that it's probably not as hard as you think it is for you to qualify to buy a house utilizing a traditional mortgage. If you are simply thinking about buying a house in the relatively near future, but you don't know where to begin or you don't know if you can qualify right now, please hit me up anytime. You can message me here. You can reach out to me on the contact info here on the screen. I would love to take a look and see where you're at. No commitments necessary. Let's see how realistically possible it is for you to have your home buying dreams come true.